Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce a new section to my channel, which I am calling Off the Beaten Track. Essentially, what this boils down to is it'll be covering films that may not have got the widest releases when they first came out and may have slipped under the radar somewhat for a lot of people. It'll be cult films, it'll be little known films, it'll be, anything like that that basically takes my fancy. If you've seen the film before, great. Maybe it'll be a nice little nostalgia trip for you, a revisit of a particularly good or a particularly bad film. But more importantly, if you haven't seen the film before or you haven't heard of the film before, it may uncover a nice little hidden gem or, as things may turn out, a hidden turd. Now, the film I'm going to introduce this section to you with is the film that I've had the most requests to review by a mile since I started this channel, and that is the, shall we say, infamous cult film, if you can even call it cult, to be honest, The Room. So I think the first thing to do will be, let's go and watch The Room. So, just one main question. Why? Why would you want to put me through that? Why would you want to make me do that? That was interesting. I don't even know where to start with that one. Jesus Christ. So I suppose we may as well start with a quick rundown of the plot, because why not? Tommy is a city banker who is engaged to Lisa. Lisa doesn't love him anymore and is trying to cheat on him with his best friend Mark because she's classy like that. And there's a weird little kid called Danny. Done. I think the main thing here is simple, and that's Tommy Wiseau. Lead actor, writer, director, producer, executive producer somehow, soundtrack probably farted by for all I know. This is his film. He is rather heavily involved in it, which is a bit of a problem given that he shows literally no talent for any of those things I've just mentioned. I want to centre on the acting though, because it's the funniest bit. Everyone is bad in this. Bad actors reciting bad dialogue in a bad story. But Tommy is on his own little world, in his own little universe. Trying to describe Tommy Wiseau's acting is genuinely, I think, the hardest thing I've ever done while trying to review a movie. So I'm going to cheat. Just watch this.
I don't have to worry about that because Lisa's loyal to me.
Yeah, man, you never know. People are very strange these days. I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I'm so happy I have you as my best friend, and I love Lisa so much. Why, Lisa? Why, Lisa? Please talk to me, please! You're part of my life. You are everything. I could not go on without you, Lisa.
See what I mean? Most bad actors are wooden or can't convey emotion, or maybe convey too much emotion. Hello at times. Okay, often. Nick. Hello, John. Tommy, however, manages to combine everything into a genuinely unique style that I've just not seen before. He is the most aggressively bad actor I have ever seen. He manages to convey too little emotion and too much emotion, often simultaneously. That shouldn't even be physically possible. His accent is straight up not of this mortal realm, And his tone, intonation and inflection manage to make it sound like he hasn't read before and doesn't understand the meaning or context of the words that he wrote. I will give him credit for one thing though. At least this performance manages to make watching the film more interesting than, say, this.
Well, where are you going?
To the east.
Why?
Back to find the path back to the middle world.
This.
Doctor, you must understand. I doubted everything. Even my mind. I was impotent with fear. I know. But sir, I know where the bastard sleeps. I brought him there.
That's a good film, but Keanu has never been great at emotion, and getting him to play a reserved Englishman. Really? Or indeed, this. Yes, he's a good actor, but that scene is laughable, and I fucking hate that film. At least with Tommy's performance, you're left in genuine bemusement. You're just wondering what it is you're actually watching. Is it a joke? Is it a parody? Is it serious? Oh God, it's actually serious, isn't he? He's actually trying to be serious with this. How is this even allowed to be filmed? Surely there are laws against this sort of thing to protect the movie viewing public.
Down with this sort of thing. Careful now.
So, anyway, if we manage to get past the acting, somehow, what are we actually left with? Well, we have some creative characters. Tommy is so naive that you could replace this woman with him and you just wouldn't be able to tell the difference character-wise.
The world's gonna unless we have sex right now.
Do we have time to get to a motel, or do we need to do it right here?
Lisa starts off moderately sex-crazed and ends up borderline sociopathic. And Danny reaches levels of creepiness in this film that your friendly neighborhood dog warrior could only dream of.
I'm going to take a nap.
Can I go upstairs too?
Denny, I think I'm gonna join him.
It's as if every character in the film was only allowed one interest or emotion and has to stick rigidly to that. They cannot stray from that point. I will not become a fully fleshed out three-dimensional character. You can't make me, I'll cry. We also have subplots which are given literally one scene and then completely forgotten about for the entire rest of the film.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
And Wizzo didn't seem to know how to have people interact like people. So American football is played in a suspiciously large number of scenes in some interesting locations and some very interesting outfits. Wizzo also knows nothing about human anatomy, if the sex scenes are anything to go by. Tommy. I don't know if your mummy and daddy ever had the conversation with you or what your sex education was like on Pluto, but that is not where a lady's, even your future wife's, special secret place is. But hey, if you have a thing for belly buttons, maybe, roughly, if you have a thing for that, who am I to judge? All that I've talked about combines to create one of the most bizarre 100-ish minutes ever brought to screen. You just sort of sat there watching, gawking at this car crash happening in front of you. This film is one of the worst things I've ever seen, and I saw celebrity wrestling on ITV in the early 2000s. It had Roddy Piper in it. It genuinely took me 3 attempts to get through it, and from a critical standpoint, it is easily one of the worst films ever made. However, it's so ludicrous, so stupid, and so terrible that in its own way, it's absolutely hilarious. It's one of the best comedies you could watch drunk with your friends, and I have shown many of my friends clips from the film, and their reaction is always the same. Oh God, followed by me laughing at them. And I still myself watch clips, especially the infamous rooftop scene, when I want a quick laugh. It is awful and impossible to actually recommend, but it holds a truly unique place in film culture. It's not so bad it's good, because it's absolutely horrendous, but it's so extreme in its awfulness that it almost needs to be seen. Just please don't blame me if you do. This one almost demanded to have a spoiler section. It basically had to happen. So if you want to have a bit more fun with it in the spoiler section, I'll see you in a couple of moments. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Welcome to the spoiler section. So I've given my overall opinions on the film. So now for this spoiler section, I'm just going to have some fun and break down some of the best or worst scenes in the film. Some of my favourites. I'm not going to go chronologically on this. Instead, I'm just going to group certain scenes together which I think share certain similar properties, shall we say. So let's begin with a scene outside of our main core group as Tommy buys Lisa a present.
Hi.
Can I help you?
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you. Here you go.
That's me. How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I love this scene because of two things. For a start, it seems to be at almost double pace, or at least 1.5, because have you ever gone into a shop and bought anything that quickly in your life? Ever? That shop had other customers, and yet Tommy just walks straight to the front of the line and has the quickest financial transaction in history. The second thing is the fact that the lines, he doesn't write good dialogue anyway, but these lines genuinely seem to have been mixed up somewhere before they actually decided to shoot the scene. I absolutely love that. The sheer combination of the fact that they apparently had to do the whole scene in under 30 seconds, and the fact that that somehow led to just let's stick the crappy lines that we've written in random places in the conversation. It'll make as much sense as it did anyway, so fuck it. Now you'd think that maybe once we got within our core group of main characters, things may improve a little bit in terms of actually having a vague resemblance to how human beings behave or interact with each other. At all. Ever.
Hey, Mike.
hey, Danny.
You guys want to play some football? I gotta go see Michelle in a little bit to make out with her. So I'm sorry. Come on.
Come on. Football. All right, let's do it for it.
All right, whatever.
All right, let's go for it.
I'm going out. Yeah, sorry you had to see that. I'm not sorry. You enjoyed it. Almost as much as I was. Studying, right? Well, you gotta practice. I don't study like that.
He doesn't. Okay.
Gotta tell you about something.
Shoot, Danny.
It's about Lisa.
What's new with you, man? Not much, man. Just this. All right. Oh, man. Throw that bullet. Oh, yeah. Catch this, Johnny. Come on. Right on, man. What's new with you, man? I'm doing good. How's your girl? She's good? Good. Try and catch me. Come on. Oh. I got you. Oh, man, you got me. Okay, fine.
Now, playing football for apparently half the fucking movie is bad enough, but brilliantly, it does actually get worse.
Go.
Go deep. Gee, Peter, you're clumsy.
All right, that's it. I'm done. Okay. Great idea, Denny.
Okay, seriously, who actually does that? Who? Who goes on their way, I would assume, to a wedding or something similar to that? Who decides in their tuxedos to randomly start playing football in the street? Just who the fuck actually does it, apart from people living exclusively in Tommy Wiseau's world? But now, let's concentrate on scenes where the characters are actually talking to each other properly. They're not flinging a bloody football around. They're actually just sitting down and having conversations.
How was work today?
Oh, pretty good. We got a new client at the bank. We'll make a lot of money.
What client?
I cannot tell you. It's confidential.
Oh, come on, why not?
No, I can't. Anyway, how is your sex life?
Can't talk about it? Why not?
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny, what's up?
I have a problem with Lisa. She said that I hit her.
What? Well, did you?
No, it's not true. Don't even ask. What's new with you?
There are just too many things to love and marvel at, especially in that infamous rooftop scene. The acting, as ever, obviously, is outstanding. I love the delivery. I can't do accents. I'm well aware of the fact. I certainly can't do Tommy Wiseau's accent. I don't think anyone on the planet other than Tommy Wiseau can do Tommy Wiseau's accent, realistically. And the fact that he manages essentially to dislocate his own lower jaw and then instantly snap it back into place is impressive as well. I love the fact that they had to have done multiple takes on that scene, because they just had to have done. And that's the one they picked? Can you imagine how bad the other takes must have been if that's the one they actually picked to go in the movie? And of course, in both scenes, on both occasions, he simply stops his train of thought, stops what he was talking about, and branches off into something completely different. No one in the world changes a conversation like that, especially not to go on to something as delicate as, so how's your sex life? And frankly, Tommy, how could you suddenly stop such an interesting conversation as the clearly incredibly glamorous and metal world that is banking? How could you? I have to talk a little bit more about the characters as well, just because they're brilliant. You've got Danny. I don't know what the hell Danny is. A worldly, naive future sex offender, maybe?
Danny, do you have something else to do?
I just like to watch you guys.
And you've got Lisa, the sociopath. She goes from not being in love with her fiancé anymore, which is reasonable, that happens, to wanting to cheat on him with his best mate, not cool, to wanting to shag said best mate in the middle of a party for her fiancé, who she hasn't broken up with, in the fucking lounge. Not only is that just completely insane and evil, but it's also really fucking stupid, especially when she acts surprised when they're caught.
What are you doing? I mean, are you crazy? Everybody's here.
No, they're not. They're all outside.
She devil. You planned this all along.
What's going on here?
Really? I mean, I actually really do have trouble getting my head around that. She then follows this up with taunting Tommy by calling up Mark, who she's shagging, while he's locked himself in the bathroom. She goes from being the caring fiancé to not loving him to being genuinely just simply vindictive. It doesn't really make any sense. You can go from not loving a person but no, you can't go from not loving a person to genuinely just trying to make his life hell. That doesn't really make any sense to me. Her interactions with everyone are great, but her interactions with Tommy really do bring out his finest work, I think.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
I think, honestly, I do have to reserve the final thoughts on this film for Tommy, because let's face it, without him, this film wouldn't be the masterpiece that it is. From his avian impressions...
Chicken, chip, 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 chip.
Oh, come on! But then we have the devastating end to our movie, in which the world's gentlest and most apathetic room trashing is followed by our hero's decision to end it all and leave this cruel plane of existence. And let's face it, put us all out of our bloody misery. Get your tissues ready for the world's first and only completely bloodless shooting the back of your own head off, and from Lisa, the fastest reversion in character I think has ever been seen in a movie.
Good night, Johnny.
Is he dead? Oh my God.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, is The Room, a truly historic motion picture. I think you will agree. Thank you very much for watching. Keep an eye out for the next Off the Beaten Track review, and I'll talk to you soon.